Alright, this is Spain issue number 8. My last Spain video was my most popular video yet. So I thought, hey, let's milk that. Spain can be my new thing that I do all the time. This is some classic Spain. I think I mentioned this somewhere else, this issue, in another review. This is the one that is written by Adam Moores, the writer of Watching Men. It's a standalone issue, it's the only one that he wrote, with art by Spain's creator, Todd McFarlane, and the cover here, obviously, it is a homage to his iconic Spider-Man cover. He doesn't half love recreating that one, does he? Interesting thing about this issue of Spain, he's not in it. Not really. I mean, this kind of counts, I guess. And he is in a flashback later on as well. But this issue, it's about, well, in issue 3 or 4 or something like that, there was this serial killer ganning around. He was a child molester who kept all the dead bodies of the kids in his ice cream van. And honestly, it was a bit too graphic and leery for me. They actually showed him successfully killing a little girl, and it felt just wrong, kind of perverse and unpleasant. But he did ultimately get his comeuppance with Spain killing him, and then we have this issue where he is the main character. The premise is that he has died and he has gone to the afterlife. Seemingly, he has gone to heaven, and it's called In Heaven Everything Is Fine, which is a reference to the film Razorheads. But I like that because the Pixies did a cover of that song, so I was singing along to it when I read it. Although they should have called it Monkey Gone to Heaven, because that is a better song. And this story, it's kinda an almost done to death idea. Like, I remember I was taught about this in like my third ever lesson at college about narratives. Flipping the perspective or tricking the audience into who they side with. But I also want to note, this was 1993. This was probably very, very innovative. And I didn't doubt that for a minute, because it's Adam Moores. And even still to this day, I didn't think it has ever been done to this extreme, where the story is trying to get you to side with an unrepentant, ugly, disgusting, child-killing paedophile rapist. And on one hand, that is a bit try-hard, but if anyone can add a sense of legitimacy to the idea, it would be someone like Adam Moores or Van Morrison, although they would hate to be name-dropped in the same group of two writers that I just named. This is a good example of the sort of thing. First thing he does when he awakens in this Garden of Adrian, he kills a lizard. And we have his inner monologues, and he's ganning, "It is nice knowing you can still kill things when you are dead. I just wish there were more people around is all." At no point does this story really want you to root for this character. He's horrid. It's a little trick though, casting him as the protagonist. Regardless of motivation or even what he does, you do intrinsically want, or maybe expect is the better word, you expect the narrative to be in favour of its main character. Here he meets some other people, a really pretty woman there, and I have got a bit of a criticism here. This is actually a double splash page, and I didn't realise that at first. I thought this down here, it was just like an establishing shot, because I didn't realise it connected there. They're linked by this tree, but you lose quite a lot of that in the gutter. And up here, they're talking about how they are in some orchard, so I assume that this would be like a shot showing that orchard. But no, actually you read that, then you go up there. So that is my first criticism of this comic. Telegraph double splash pages better, or didn't bother with them if they are not necessary. Of course, one of these people he meets is a young girl, and this is where the story gets both very interesting with its narrative approach and very fucking dark and horrific, because obviously this guy, he wants to abuse this child horribly, and nobody should ever want to see that. But obviously the whole thing, it is framed where we are meant to be on the side of this terrible person. This terrible person who wants to do all these terrible things to this young girl. And, well, the whole point of this comic is to test your morals. It is a good test. If you at any point are disappointed that this fella doesn't graphically rape this little girl, then you are fucking sick and you should get yourself checked out and locked away. But as you keep turning the pages and things start happening, you keep thinking, well, what's gonna happen? He's not actually gonna succeed, is he? And because he is the main character, there is some degree of expectation. I mean, this is meant to be really uncomfortable for you. So, unlike issue 3 or whatever, when we saw him kill that child, this is meant to specifically elicit those feelings of discomfort and uneasiness. And another thing is, as I said, we are in the hands of Adam Moores, and yeah, or I do at least, I feel safe in Adam Moore's hands. He will do horrific stuff, but he will have a point to it. He isn't going to write some nonsense story about child rape without some intellectual weight behind it. And this is, as I said, a clever little moral subversion story. So soon we're at the part where he's alone with the kid and there is Spain. I get a feeling that they kept using these flashbacks and dream sequences so that people couldn't complain that Spain isn't really in the comic. And when the little girl's asleep, he goes over and he starts choking her, and she wakes up and she goes, well, it's about time. It weren't a little girl, it were a monster thing pretending to be one. And here we have got a Spain poster by Hank Miller. It's alright, but I wouldn't really hang it on my wall because it's quite small. And an advert there for a child groomer writing the book. He must have loved this issue. And while I'm at it, at least Adam Moores and Hank Miller, they wrote Spain. Dave Sim just fucking wrote his aardvark shite. He had Spain meet the little aardvark who is so blatantly a self-insert character with loads of dodgy views. I am honestly surprised it took so long for people to realise that Dave Sim is dodgy. Some of the stuff that he has written into his little cartoons is so blatantly his own feelings and wrong at that. So now we get our resolutions. We had our morals tested, and now we are seeing the dirty old man tortured. And it's really clever. He is in hell. He was always in hell. That was the point. This is Danson's Inferno. And because he is the worst of the worst, he will be tortured forever and ever. And he is forever to be constricted by this. It's like a symbiote, like Venom from Marvel. And it's like Spain's costume, because Spain killed him, and it is torture and that. And he's forced to wear it forever and ever. And he's like, But this isn't fair. Well, he is a disgusting child killer paedophile, so this is what he gets. I like this. I think it is an interesting practice. It's a good little experiment. Maybe as an 8th issue it isn't ideal, but hey, it certainly is something you didn't read every day, is it? I rate this 7 thumbs up.